Now, for more on Donald Trump's legal woes, let's get the views of civil rights attorney, radio host, and candidate for Fulton County Superior Court Judge, Robert Patillo. Mr. Patillo, welcome to GBN America. Do you think that Fani Willis should still be leading the prosecution against Donald Trump?
Well, I think the question in this case is this question of the functioning of the Fulton County court system. Let's think about this for a second. These alleged crimes took place in 2020. We're now in 2024, and it looks like these cases won't go to trial until 2025 at the earliest. Any system where a defendant has to sit for 4, 5, 6 years waiting for their case to go to trial clearly is not a functional judiciary system. We have the 8th Amendment in America that guarantees us prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. I contend that it's cruel and unusual punishment for any defendant, whether it be President Trump or whether it be your pauper on the street, to have to wait 5 or 6 years for their case to go to trial. So I think we can look at the micro issue of Fani Willis versus Donald Trump, but that does not solve the macro issue of the lack of functionality within our criminal justice system. And indeed, we had 10 people die in the Fulton County Jail last year, primarily because of these long wait times awaiting trial. It's one thing if you're out on bond. It's a completely different thing if you're in custody, being held without a trial date for 4, 5, 6 years awaiting trial. And that's why I'm running to try to change that system.
And more power to you in hoping to achieve that. We have a similar problem here in the UK. I don't think the pandemic helped. But can you explain the judge's justification to me? Because he seems to accept that Fani Willis lied, but at the same time accepts the rest of her testimony as fact. Surely that's problematic.
Well, this is part of the concern that many voters have within the county, that they feel that that a regular defendant would not have this sort of hearing, that you had 2 weeks of hearings on whether or not the prosecutor will be disqualified. Then you had 2 weeks to make a determination about whether or not they'll be disqualified. Then you have additional information being put out there, including a scathing order from that judge. And then it was announced yesterday that he ruled to allow the appeals court to oversee the case. So essentially, in a case where time is of the essence, has been delayed by close to 2 months from going to proceedings. I think that anybody in that situation, if you are a defendant or if you are somebody sitting in jail waiting for trial, this is absorbing hundreds of thousands of dollars of state resources, days of courtroom time where other people's cases can't be heard, hours of the work of prosecutions and judicial staffs, and this is not the way that other people would be treated in this situation. We have to assure that our court system is fair across the board and that everyone has an equal opportunity to have their cases heard. And this is part of the issue many people have with the execution of this and other cases. There's another high-profile case in Fulton County with the rapper Young Thug, where that case has now been announced. They're not going to go to trial until 2027 on that trial. So we clearly have to have judges that have the experience and have the temperament and have the understanding of our criminal justice system to the extent where they can move these cases along and ensure fundamental fairness both to the state and to the defendants.
Surely Fani Willis staying on the case will make it easier for Donald Trump to appeal should he be convicted?
I don't think that's necessarily the case. The prosecutor represents the state of Georgia, or the state of Georgia and Fulton County in these cases. Regardless of what goes on with that individual prosecutor, unless there's a determination that they acted improperly in securing a conviction, then that will not be justification for an appeal. However, we do have this issue of the institutional legitimacy of the court system, whether or not people believe that the court system is administered in a fair and equitable fashion. Once you start losing that, as one of our Supreme Court justices said, John Jay, once you begin losing that, then you erode the belief within our constitutional system, our constitutional republic. We've seen thus far that people are not simply saying they disagree with the rulings that come out of this and other courts. They claim that those rulings are illegitimate. They claim that there's no institutional integrity within our court system. We have to restore that integrity if we want everyone to follow the rules and follow the system. Imagine being a 14-year-old boy right now, living through this era of our criminal justice system. By the time all this is done and you're 18, how much would you actually believe in our system, believe that you will get a fair trial, believe that you will be treated equally within our system?
Most definitely. Why are you running against Judge McAfee yourself?
You know, I've been one of those people where I've been in media. I've been an attorney in the Fulton County court system for over 15 years. And there comes a time where you have to simply jump in the arena, as Teddy Roosevelt once said, that we can protest outside, we can complain on media, we can talk about what needs to happen, or you can get in there yourself and do it yourself. And that's what I've decided to do. Looking at this case and looking at the other cases in the Fulton County judicial system, I've had clients who have dealt with being in custody for 5-6 years awaiting trial. I've dealt with clients where you are denied a bond and then you're sitting in jail, not even convicted, but you're just waiting on a bond to get out for 6 months or 8 months or a year. And I want people to think about what that does to you as a human being. Once you're out, what are you going out to? Your job is gone, your apartment is gone, your car is gone, your credit is ruined. People's lives are being destroyed by the inefficiency of the court system. There are big issues in the Fulton County court system that predated Donald Trump and finding Willis. There are big issues in the Fulton County court system that will exist long after this trial is outside of the national and international attention. And we have to work on creating that systemic change that is necessary to build the type of judicial system that our citizens can have full faith in. And that's what got me into this race.